All right, good afternoon. Today is September 13th, 2021, and today, it's a range day, but it feels weird saying that because we had this pretty strong leg down. We had a break and two legs down to a new low, two measured legs down to a new low, and really just at 12 is when we started turning back up. And this was actually started to be like right here. This was a really strong trend up. So yeah, pretty good price action today. Followed all Mack's rules with this break, and this was a really nice failure. If you caught this, I'm pretty sure you can take this according to Mack's system, because what we get is almost two measured legs, perfect measured legs of correction. You get one leg, breaks the channel, and then we get another leg, and then prices slowly started to, you have this potential channel right here, and then prices got congested here, but it looked like there was a downward bias to it. So we get this first, second entry, and then a first, second entry. And so if you caught that, man, that was a nice move down. Very nice move down. So anyway, let's talk about these trades. So we get this spike and channel in the overnight. You get this spike and channel, and you get a bounce here. And I guess I was looking at this as like a first, failed second entry off the trend line, but that's super aggressive. I mean, look at that. That's a bunch of bars overlapping, and you're going into the highs. So I don't think you want to take that, but it is a failure. Then this looks like also like a failed first, second entry long as well. But that's right before the reversal. So you see this break, you should be weary. And you see that prices aren't hitting the top of the channel, so yeah, you want to be careful there. And then we start reversing. You get this lower high, and I looked at this as a double top. So first entry, this might be the failure here, but on our chart, the real failure comes right here. Yeah, it's a bit away from the EMA, but it's off the trend line. So failed second entry long. Then you get another. I don't think you can go short here. I just don't think you can do that. It's too far from the EMA this time. But yeah, you get some nice movement out of that. We break that channel, form some congestion. Around the midline of the overnight highs and lows, so we get some congestion. You get a leg up, second leg up, too early to go long, I think, and then we find resistance, and this confirms this channel right here. So you get a first entry, failed second entry long right here. It's congestive, so that's why I marked it as aggressive, but that's a good entry. That gets you a scalp. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I went long here. I was like, but look, man, every time nothing's happening, and I'm pretty sure Mack has said that before, or every time you don't know what's happening, you want to zoom out and draw your trend lines and play around with things and just get a feel for the context. Because I went long here, but if you zoomed out and drew the trend line right here, you're not going to go long here. You're going to be in the right place looking to go short, and that helps. So you get that entry. Unfortunately, I don't see anywhere else you can enter in here. This is too far from the EMA. This looks too far, even though that's a failed second entry long. We find you develop like a smaller channel down here near the lows of this channel. But this is just congestive here. But when you get this first, second entry short after this bounce on the midline, I think you can go short there. I think that's a good entry. But then we find some serious support right here. And I think you just have to sit out at this point. Here, this is a second entry long, and it bounced right near the overnight lows, and we've had all this choppiness. So I think this is something to think about. I think it's okay to think about going long here because it's at the overnight lows. But anyway, you get this first entry, and you get this failure. I just don't think you can go long here because you we're expecting some movement down. So when we get in, we got this first leg up. Wait for that second leg up. Boom, it comes. And I already explained this situation right here. We get these two legs of correction, and then we get this range forms, but it has a downward bias, and you can see right here. So when you get this first, second entry, first, second, failed second entry, this is trapping a lot of longs, and I really like that. I unfortunately had to walk away right here, but I was waiting for a setup. But when this bar formed, I was like, I had to walk away. I just thought I missed it, but boom, right here, and you get a nice move. Down here, I don't see why and any reason to enter here. We had the break of this. Now we have our one leg down, and really we just go into some congestion after that. Here, let me take away these measured moves, but they were relevant. So I drew this congestion. It looked like we formed like a little bit of a spike and channel up, and we get this this right here, and this just, I drew this as the top of congestion just because those are the highs. Then we come down here, and I looked at this as an aggressive failed second entry short, maybe first, second entry to go long above. I didn't have these lows here, or else I wouldn't have traded that. But then when you do have these lows and we get matching lows right here, you might consider going long because we're at the overnight lows. So this is a second entry right here. There's a lot of price rejection. You can see there's some price rejection here. It's actually not that much price rejection. For some reason I thought it was, but first entry, second entry, it's definitely aggressive. And at this point it looks like you're going into the midline. So these are both very aggressive. But then we get this move down and get a first entry, failed second entry long here. I like that. I was expecting more movement down. Maybe this was the leg down. So this gets you nothing but a scalp. And yeah. Got to go long on the engulfing bar though. Then we get this higher low back into congestion. And this is looking like congestion. This is the higher low back into the overnight range. But also, I'm expecting this is the first time breakout of this range, and it's counter trend. And that's like right at the measured move, so I like that too. So, first entry, failed second entry. Unfortunately, I don't think you can go long there because it looks like two legs right here maybe. And this is just all this overlap. I looked at this as a double bottom, so maybe you want to look at it like a first, second entry short right here that also hit the top of this range. Then we break out again. It fails. We break out the top, and this is a second entry short. I really like this. First entry, second entry. Unfortunately, I was watching this in real time, and I was thinking that I couldn't take it because it was just like a, I don't know why, because it's the high. But I didn't realize that it's a second entry. So if you saw that, I think you can take that. That's the top of the range. Failed breakout. I like that. And then you get this leg down. Get a first entry. Failed second entry long right here. That's aggressive, but it ends up working. It ends up starting this tight channel down here. That's in the bottom half of this larger channel. And if you saw this channel, I don't think you can go short here. It's not a good enough signal bar. We got these matching lows too, so that might just be a first entry. And then this is like a second entry failure. Not sure why I didn't really look at it. This, I don't know, you got a break, one leg, that looks like two legs of correction. So I also like this. This looked like a second entry short. So I like that. It's near the EMA and the trend line. But it's congestive, so I marked it red, but it might be aggressive. It's also going into the lows. But you do get a scalp out of that. And then we get a first. Alright, sorry, I had an interruption, but it's another reason you could look at this as aggressive is because look right here, we didn't make it to the bottom of the channel, so that's something. But this actually makes our measured move, and you can see we bounce here, and you mark this congestion. We break out with trend, and then we start to reverse, and first entry, second entry. It felt really good to see this because I've been getting fooled on these a lot lately, thinking, oh, I got a reversal. First, failed second entry long, or failed second entry short. I'm going to go long here. And look, takes one tick higher, boom. And I saw this. I just didn't have the guts to take it. But not only is that an awesome trap because people are thinking they got a failed second entry short to go long above, but it's a counter trend break out of this congestion that sets up right there with a lower high. So this is aggressive, but this is a really nice trade. I really like that. I was so happy I saw that. But also, look, there's overlap. But yeah, that was a really nice trade, and we test the lows. Boom. Ticks one tick lower, probably traps in some shorts and just explodes up. And yeah. Let's see, first entry, failed second entry. This is just far from the EMA. Let me delete this measured move. Looks like we'll probably try and make that measured move right there. So I'm going to delete that though because it's getting a little crowded. We formed this spike and channel here. Let's see. First entry, failed second entry short. I don't like it too far from the EMA. But if you saw this channel, I don't know how you would until here. So I don't think you can do that. But this is clearly off the midline. We formed this spike and channel. First, failed second entry. Maybe you take this high or low. That's a first entry failure right here. I don't think that's too far from the EMA. Maybe you would look at this as a high or low back into the overnight range. So I don't see any entry here. Look, here we get first entry, second entry. They trap these guys, and then you get an entry right here. And I think this really looks like this is all one leg. So really you're looking for a two-legged pullback, and this is all one leg, and then you get correction, boom. And I think the skilled chart readers, I think they go long there. I think so. So I think, yeah, it's a third entry technically, so I'm not going to mark it. And then here it's just a strong trend. So, I mean, I was thinking of going long here, but I didn't. And I don't know why my trend lines always do that. I had it drawn like this. That's a spike in channel. You can see, look, all these dojis, and they're making higher highs and higher lows. So you get this first entry. Oh wait, that's okay. First entry, failed second entry, but you don't have a good. This doesn't look good at this point. You don't know if this is the strong trend at this point, but once we get all these dojis and stuff, you might enter long right there as a first, second entry, because at this point it looks like a strong trend. These are all just little dojis, and yeah, so that's what I saw for today. I took a lot of trades today. So let's talk about those trades that I took. And I want to start. Yesterday I came in, I thought I spotted something. I got to be done with taking trades like on Sunday. Like, I don't know why I did that. So right here I'm thinking, oh, first entry, failed second entry short, and this is a 4-tick failure. And not only is it a 4-tick failure, look at that, it's a 25-tick bar. So that's way too much risk. And it was a 4-tick failure, so I got stopped out and lost a lot on my simulated account, and I shouldn't have done that. And yeah, so just don't do that. I think it was like a minus $900 trade, $950, and I'm only trading 3 contracts, so that happened. Okay, here I am definitely cool with this entry. I went short here, but the problem is I didn't enter on a limit order. So I came in late, and when it came back up to here, I guess I got even lucky for even getting the entry. Came back up to here, and I dropped my order, and there was a lot of slippage, like 3 ticks of slippage. So enter, if you miss the move, you got to enter on a limit order. 73, but they filled me at, okay, so 2 ticks of slippage, because my entry should have been at 73, and I entered at 72.50. 2 ticks of slippage, but the trade worked out. And I really want to, I just want to scalp out in full from now on, I've decided. Unless it's a runaway trend day. First entry, second entry. Oh, okay, yeah. So here, I got really lucky. I entered on a limit order. And that's what I was saying earlier, is I didn't zoom out to look at the context. So I shouldn't have been looking for a long here. And what I was doing was I looked for a second entry, and this is not the place to go long, because there's a trend, and it's a downward trend. So if you, I entered, so that's not good. Not a good entry, needless to say. I think that's really it, is just zoom out and look at your chart context. Okay, so here I went long. Why? First entry, second entry. Okay, so yeah, this is congestive, first of all. And what I didn't see here was this trend. I didn't have this trend. Even at this point, I didn't have this trend drawn. So I wasn't doing enough zooming out. I just was playing the range, thinking we're going back to the overnight highs. So we get this first leg of correction and second leg of correction. That's close enough. And the bias has been down. So if it comes up short, that means we might be going in the other way. So I went long here, and then that helped me realize, oh, these 2 legs of correction, I drew this trend line. We have 2 legs of correction. This started slant, and that's when I was like, oh, I think I should be looking for a failed second entry long. And this one, this is a failure right here. But then you get another one, first entry, failed second entry. And we had this trend line at that point. So, you know, that was a really nice move down. I didn't catch that in real time. Okay, here we get a failed first, second entry short. Aggressive because it's going into the lows, but it's a second entry, and it's off the trend line, so I'm okay with that. Okay, and this is, I looked at this as a second entry short. This is slightly aggressive. It's also going into the lows, but it's near the trend line, and buy's been down all day, and it's second entry short. It also looks like a failed second entry long too. So I'm okay with this move, even though it's in congestion. I'd rather take trades that aren't in congestion like that. And then here I got really lucky. Entered on a limit order, took this as a failed second entry long, first entry, failed second entry long here. And yeah, I scalped out. I went on short on the engulfing bar. But look, we're making higher lows and higher highs. And I think this tick higher doesn't make a new leg. This is one leg down, one leg of correction, second leg down, boom. So I'm not satisfied with that trade. But Other than that trade I took yesterday, I think I would have ended up like $100 if I didn't take this. So not too bad of a day, but I definitely need to stop trading counter trend, and I need to zoom out and check the context. So hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.